Hey, what's up everybody, Real Frank 2018, and today I'm going to be telling you all the stuff you need to go through before owning a pet wild animal. If you want to own a pet wild animal, it's not really simple. You can't just go buy a pet and then have it. You have to go through a lot of stuff first. So I'm going to be telling you all the stuff you need to go through. Number one is the state, which state allows it. So that's what I'm going to be going through first. So whatever state, so wherever you are it can be different. So if your state doesn't allow that, you must move to a different state because it's only allowed in states that allow that. Some states allow that, like in Florida you can have a pet alligator, but many states it's illegal, but some states still allow that. But if you live in one of those states, then you need to get to step 2, fill out all the paperwork you need to go through. Wherever you are, no matter if it allows it, you still need to fill out paperwork and go through a lot of training to handle the pet. And when you're not feeding the pet, you should put tape on it. If you have a pet alligator, and if it's a pet alligator or a crocodile, when you're not feeding it, you should put tape on its mouth. And when you are feeding it, then you can take it off, but only then. And yeah, you have to go through a lot of training. Yes, so you can handle it. Number 3, I would not recommend having a pet hippo because if you tape a hippo's mouth, they'd break the tape. You would not want to have a pet hippo because they're the most dangerous wild animals. They're most likely to get out of control, so I would not recommend having a pet hippo no matter where you live or how much paperwork and training you've been through, right? So I would not recommend having a hippo as a pet because they're the most dangerous wild animals in the world. So, no. And besides, they're not native to your country, so you can't just go and smuggle a wild animal. That's a crime. So, this brings me to the next one. What country is it native to? Well, the wild animal, I would say that the wild animal, if you want to have a wild animal as a pet, would have to be native to your country. Unless you actually own a zoo. If you own a zoo, then you can do whatever you want as long as you fill out all the paperwork and your state allows it and your pet is safe enough. But if you don't own a zoo, if you don't own a zoo, then the wild animal that you can have as a pet must be native to your country. If you live in the United States, then I recommend getting a pet alligator or coyote, as long as you go through all the paperwork. Just not hippos because they're the most dangerous wild animals. And number 5, all the rules you must follow. Even if you do everything else right, there's still one more rule that is the most important one. That is all the rules. Okay, so when you have your pet wild animal, you don't want to leave your door. You have to remember to close your door when you leave. Because if you leave your door open, your pet wild animal might go outside. To avoid forgetting, you can put an alarm. That way, if you walk outside when the door is open, the alarm will sound and say, "Please close door," and then you'll close the door. I would recommend buying an alarm that goes off if you leave any door open so that if you forget, you can remember by the alarm can remind you and you can close the door so the pet doesn't get outside. Number 2, and this is very important, don't take your pet out in public. So you can't just take your pet out in public because it's not safe. Absolutely not, because again, it can get out of control. Many people aren't trained. You might cause a panic, and if you did that, you could get a fine or even go to jail for causing a panic. You could for example, if you took your pet to a sports stadium and it's live on television, you would cause a panic that would be that a lot of people would witness. If they're at a sports stadium, they might even say it on the news. Many people they might even say it on the news if it's a sports stadium with thousands of people, and if they see it, then they might panic, and then again, they might even see it on the news. Could you imagine having to see they say breaking news, there's been a panic at a sports stadium because someone bought a wild animal there. And you'd definitely go to jail. You'd get a big fine. So don't ever take it out in public, and when your visitors are coming, be sure to hide the pet in a special room where they can't get access to it, or put them in a cage so that they don't panic. So make sure you do all of that, and if you want to take your pet outside, only do it in your backyard. And don't ever don't ever open any gates. Because when you're taking your pet out in your backyard, make sure all the gates are closed, because you don't want it in your neighborhood. Because again, you don't want to cause a panic. So those are all the things you need to go through. So you can watch this video if you want to have a pet wild animal, and you must go through all these steps. Once you've gone through all these steps, you'll know you can do it. All right? All right. Thanks for watching.